calling me? Don't stop talking me. You're not talking to me. Are you calling me? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, hello. All right, we're gonna get started in a moment. Yes, yes, yes. Trying to get the hang of this. All right, all right, all right. Welcome to my live. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Okay. Trying to make sure we go live on every social media platform before we get started. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to my live today. Okay, we are ready. Hopefully we have some traction here. All right, let's get started. Beautiful, beautiful day today. Just want to talk about a topic for today. And while I was getting ready for this live, I had a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions, about today's live. So please invite some people to come join us on this conversation. My technology was giving me a hard time. I don't know, for some reason. Anyway, I'm not going to bother with that. We have what we need here right now. We're live on Instagram and YouTube today. So welcome to the live. Super excited to be here today to talk about this topic. And while getting ready for today's live, I had a lot of, like I said, a lot of emotions, thoughts that were running through my mind, and what I really wanted to share today as we're getting ready for a lot of things. Like you guys know, getting ready for the DYG challenge, Discover Your Gift challenge. And I don't know if this happens to you when you set your mind to do something, especially when you know and you're convinced that it's going to impact the lives of others. And that's when you really, really start to feel the hit on you. And that's really what's been going on. But that's not going to stop me, because I really know that there is a purpose for me having the gift that I have. There is a purpose for me being in the space that I'm in, doing the things that I'm doing in this time. So I'm really grateful for that. So today we're going to get ready to talk about poverty. Poverty is a subject that personally I try to stay away from it because I had this notion and this mindset that, if you don't talk about it, then you don't attract it to yourself. But the reality of the matter is, when it comes to the discuss of money and poverty and wealth and riches, there's so many polarizing options and opinions about it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you pray, fast, do whatever you need to do, you have to do the work. The work has to be done. God is not going to bless your idleness. God is not going to bless your complacency. God is not going to bless you just sitting down, wishing and hoping upon a star. God is not going to bless your idle gift, the gift that He has given you, that you have left it idle, redundant, just sitting there. God is not going to bless that. And one thing I found with poverty mindset is that a lot of us, even the wealthy, sometimes just because someone has money does not make them lose the poverty mindset. Do you guys know that? So just because you see someone, they're wealthy, they feel like that, you feel or you believe it looks like they're living a set life, automatically you think that they don't think about poverty. Poverty attacks the mind at all times. Let me tell you some indications that a person is still suffering from poverty mindset. A person is still suffering from poverty mindset when they are really, really, really afraid that what they have is never going to be enough. That's, they're not going to have enough. That means they don't like to share freely because they're always looking to preserve. It's like a self-preservation. That there's not enough to go around. So look, the one that I have, even if it's like in the billions, I have to keep it to myself. Now, let me be let me be certain, or let me be clear. Yeah, let me be clear on what I'm trying to say. Just because a person is rich does not mean they get to give away everything and just keep giving. They have to give with sense. They have to give with discernment. They have to give with conviction. They have to give with clarity. However, there is a difference between you being able to give with clarity and you being able to give out of a fear of, I'm not going to give, I'm going to withhold as much as possible. I'm not going to help somebody else who needs it because I feel like if I do, then I will end up not having enough. So a person could be extremely wealthy, have a lot of money, resources, and everything that we sort of classify as rich, but they still have a poverty mindset. There's this scarcity in their mind that makes them think that the more they hold on to, the more they acquire, the more they have, is what's going to give them the security. And that's one of the vanities of life that the Bible talks about. So talking about poverty mindset today. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining my live. So one of the things that we definitely want to address today, and it was heavy on my heart, and I'm like, I don't know if I should bring this topic on. Just give me a moment, sir. I don't know if I should bring this topic on because I just feel like, okay, I'm a coach. I have a program that helps people discover their gifts and train skills and things like that. What's your business with talking about poverty and being a time waster? And the Holy Spirit started to break it down. I mean, I just kind of sat down for a moment and thought, okay, Lord, I need clarity. I don't ever want to come on here to talk about something just for the sake of talking about something, just for the sake of being in somebody's face or being in your faces saying, oh, I'm here today. No, I have to make sure that anything that I share, anything that I bring on this platform has to be meaningful and somebody is going to get something out of it. So yes, I'm very convinced to talk about poverty today and being a time waster because we have the DYG challenge launching July 1st. That is Discover Your Gifts Challenge. Because a lot of people, a very good percentage of people, do not know exactly what it is their gifts is. In fact, it's one thing to not know what your gift is, not to talk about knowing what your purpose is, because the discovery of your gift and the expression of those gifts will eventually lead you to understanding or discovering what your purpose in life is. So we are on here, a lot of people, most people in the marketplace, when you look at statistics and data, over 80 to 90% of folks working a job absolutely hate. I don't want to say hate, but they do not like it. They would rather be doing something else. So if you ask people 8 out of 10 times, they'll tell you, well, this puts the food on the table, it pays the bills, but if I had my way, what would you rather be doing? And they would honestly tell you something completely different from what it is that they're working at right now. So now when a person is that way, or they have that thought process, and they're going through life. They go through decades doing this job. Yes, it pays the bills. It takes care of everything. But within themselves as humans, they haven't found the satisfaction and the contentment out of the life that they've been given. And that really leads to so many people getting to a point in life where they feel like whatever it is they achieved, it doesn't really mean much. Because it's not going to mean much to you if it's something that you're doing that is out of the design of what God put you on here to do. And of course, what drives the mindset of everyone just doing what they need to do, which is necessary. Trust me, even as I'm talking to you, there's certain things that I have to do to ensure that my other businesses, I do certain parts of my business, I do other things to ensure that funds are coming in to build the dream of the gift that God has given me. Because that gift is not going to fund itself. It's not automatically just going to pay for all of the courses that I'm putting together, all of the videos that I have to create, all of the content, the curriculum, the publishing. It's a lot. So we all have to go through that. However, we have to really get to a point in our journey where we build up our mindset and eradicate the poverty mindset, because it's a curse that puts people in the bondage of doing things that they're really not created to do for longer than they have to do it. Created to do for longer than they have to do it. So you might have to start out doing something to put food on the table. You might have to start out from a point in life where survival is a necessity, yes. But a poverty mindset would keep a person in that rat race endlessly. Good to see you too, Dr. Julia. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. So poverty mindset, it's really a curse that the enemy uses to trap people, and it does not allow them to really use the full potential of their mind. Like I said earlier, today's topic is something that I really want to be very mindful and careful to talk about, because I know the state of the world economy today. I know that a lot of people are going through situations that they would not wish for them to be in, but they just find themselves in it. And it's not because they are bad people. It's not because they have done anything bad. It's just because life has dealt them those hands and they have to rock and roll with it. So I am not undermining the reality that we all, and I say we all because no matter how wealthy you are in today's economy, the world situation hits you one way or another. So we all have to sort of run with it. But I want to encourage you today to understand that regardless of the situation or the reality, it's one thing for you to be in a situation, a circumstance that limits your access to resources, but it's another thing for you to have a mindset that limits you from accessing what God has given you. So let me play that again. It's a different thing when you're in a situation where the economy is bad, business is not moving, things are not working well, not because you've done anything wrong, just because that is the situation, right? But in your mind, you know that you are working your way out of this. You have a purpose. You have your eyes set on the goal. Your gifts are being used every day. You are really intentional about implementing that which God has given you in the marketplace against all odds. Just invest in building yourself up, building your mind up. But it's a different thing when you have the limitations around you, but then in your mind, you don't see a way forward. In your mind, you are limited as well. And that's where the curse of poverty takes a hold on a lot of people. And it minimizes their ability to really live the life that God created for them. I'm not preaching for people to run out there and just do anyhow and just don't have a plan, don't have a system in place and just say, I have a gift and now, no. Yes, you have a gift, but your gift is only as prosperous for you as your mind is. The Bible talks about the fact that as a man thinketh, so is he. So a man can have a gift that would really, or is intended to make him billions or even trillions in this life. But if that person has not done the work or does not continue to do the work to get out of a state of mind that will limit the potential of that gift is just going to be there. It will be redundant. Like I said, God will not bless your gift sitting high, idle in your hands. He's giving it to you and you're like, okay, here it is. He's not going to bless it. He's not going to do anything with it. There's absolutely nothing that he can do with something that you've just left. Just sitting there, you're not doing anything with it. You have that business idea, but you prefer to go work on a job that pays you the security of a salary every month, every 2 weeks or so, just because you are afraid and you feel like, okay, you don't have the capacity to engage that business idea. But truly, the gift of you to the world is you opening up that business. Is you making the possibility available to others to see that, oh, XYZ has a business. Like my friend here, my sister here, who joined, I think she already left. She has a mobile African store and she has it online as well. You know, when I met her and she told me about it, I was like, wow, that's a brilliant idea. How did you think about it? God gives those ideas. He gives the gift of creativity, the gift to provide solutions in the marketplace. God gives it. But a person who has a poverty mindset will receive the same idea, but will look at it like, this is absolutely impossible. There is no way for me to ever achieve this. And then they will waste their time, spend decades on a job, on an activity, doing something that God has not put them in the position to do. While they might make a lot of money doing it over the lifespan of their entire living, but the reality of the matter is they're going to get to the end of their life and really their conscience and their innate ability, because the gift is within you. We don't realize it. The gift is already within you. So when I'm inviting people to come to the DYG challenge, I'm not going to do any kind of magic like abracadabra. That's your gift. Oh, you get one and you get one and everybody gets one, opera things. I'm not going to be doing opera things. But the gift is already within you. It just needs some type of leverage or some type of motivation to pull it out so that you can now come to the awareness of it. I came into the awareness of my gift and I started doing what I'm doing. I started doing all the things that I do for work, for business, for life, as a mom, as everything. I really just came into the full awareness of my gift. It had been with me the whole time. I mean, if you talk to one of my longest standing friends, we were primary school seatmates in Nigeria, and she would always remind me of the story of the fact that, the only reason she was always getting in trouble from primary 1 to 6 that we were together was because she was sitting by me, and that's because I always used to make her talk. I was a talkative, so she always used to get in trouble. My best friend, my primary school seatmate, she's still very chill, very calm. She's very quiet. But she's my longest standing friend ever. And she would remember, she was like, Oyinkan, for the first 6 years of our education, I was always getting in trouble because of you, because you like to talk. And back then, nobody understood that was a gift that I had. So there was no way for my parents to invest or to help me channel it. But they sent me to school to get a formal education, which, by the way, today I have the degree and the credentials, but I don't use it. I don't use it for life. Because by the time I came into my own, I started to realize that, okay, this thing that I know how to do, to talk, to teach, to educate people, because everybody knows how to talk. I mean, there are a lot of talkers, there are a lot of gifted people that can talk, but everyone will now begin to execute their gift in different ways. For me, my gift of speech is put towards educating people. Thank you, Dr. Julia. Is put towards helping people learn. Because I don't want to stay poor the rest of my life. Poverty being a curse it's not the lack of money. I said it earlier in the life. I said there are a lot of wealthy people with a lot of money, but they still have poverty mindset. Poverty is still plaguing them. They live, you can tell, they have a scarcity mindset. They are very stingy. They don't have an abundance way of thinking. They don't do much with what they have. They just like to get it and have it and have it and have it. I have an aunt, one of my mom's older sisters, and I'm sorry to put my family out there like this. My mom used to tell me a story about her that, look, that's my sister. She has a lot of money, but there is no way you would ever know. And that is how I know that poverty is actually a curse. It's not just something that people pick up the street and say, I'm poor because I don't have money. Somebody might not have $1, but trust me, they might be one of the wealthiest people in the world, because in their mind, they know that the possibility still exists for them to get and become everything God created them to do. So they put in the work, they do everything that they need to do, and eventually they get to their destination. So back to my auntie's story. So she said my sister would have a lot of money, but what does she do? Every day or every other day whatsoever, she has all this money stored up in her bank account, and she would log into her bank account, or she would go to her account officer. In Nigeria back then, before there was online banking, even a lot of our parents don't do online banking now. She will go check her bank account balance, and she will just be like, and then she will call her name, and then she will smile. But then I'm like, mommy, are you sure? She's like, yes. I'm like, no, it can't be possible. Or that person is not rich. They can't have that kind of money. My sister is like, I know she does, because I'm her sister, I know. I said, but why does her life look like that? Why does she live? I mean, if you go to where she lives, it looks not like, even, oh my God, it looks horrible. And then you see her, it's like, are you kidding me? Like, really? I mean, you can't even put it together. Like, this person has a net worth of this and this. I mean, for me, I feel like, oh my goodness. And I really didn't know what that was. But for someone like that, that is a good example. Because when you understand the wealth mindset that God has for us, the ability that He wants us to prosper in all things, not just, having our soul prosper, not just us worshiping Him and serving Him. He wants us to truly, truly prosper in life. So poverty being a curse, it wastes people's time. You spend a lot of life on this earth. You don't live well, but you've made a lot of money. You don't make an impact in the lives of other people. Nobody can ever turn around and say, my life was better because this person came by. I don't understand. So all that time has accounted for what? It has accounted for what? That is why it is important for everyone to operate within their gifts. Even while you're working a job that allows you to survive, it is important for you to be in the awareness of what your gifting is, because awareness is key. That is where, once you are aware, trust me, you can't go back. You're going to want to take action steps to do something about exhibiting and expressing and sharing and making your gifts what it needs to be. So poverty is such a bad curse. It keeps people bound. It keeps people limited. Not in the state of the physical, tangible things, not in the amount of money in your bank account. I don't want to repeat that. So please, we can break the curse of poverty. Yes, prayer is one way to break the curse of poverty. But praying about an issue like poverty is really not enough, because at the end of the day, yes, we pray, but the Bible says faith without works is dead. When you pray, then what are you going to do to overcome the situation? What are you going to do to turn things around and stop wasting your time? Time is a currency that we all have the same amount of. The wealthy have the same amount of time every day. The poor person has the same amount every day. The purposeful living individual has the same amount every day. Time is something that is non-discriminatory. Like, it doesn't discriminate whether you're poor, you're rich, you're tall, you're short, you're in Africa, you're in the US, wherever. Everybody gets 24 hours if you're fortunate enough to still be breathing God's air. So if you're alive, time is something that you're always going to get a fair amount of. It's always something that you're going to get a fair share of. But the only justification of your time is the results that you produce every single day. Some people are able to break out of the negativity of the poverty and scarcity mindset and build their minds up to see so much abundance in the world, to believe that their gifts have the potential to make them into everything that God wants them to be, or for them to be able to achieve everything that they set out to do in life. Being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, it's actually a gift. It's not everybody that can hack it. It's not everybody that can hack it. And I'm not saying that working a job makes you less gifted. You could actually be using your gifts while on the job. There are people who are gifted to teach, so they get a job being a teacher. There are people who are gifted to sing. They get a job being in a songwriting company, being in a choir, just something, being in the song ministry. Your gift can actually be used on a job that you are paid for. Your gifts can be used for you to be an entrepreneur, a business owner. Your gifts can be used to ensure that you are a leader, providing leadership and vision for other people to follow. Your gifts can be expressed in so many ways. So let's stop wasting our time and let's stop allowing the things that are not supposed to hold us down to hold us down. The curse of poverty can be broken by prayer. Yes, I believe in that. But hard work is needed. Hard work is needed. Do you know the reality of the matter is everyone can talk about how difficult their lives is until they have to step into another person's shoes and they're like, oh, wow, that's really tough. So we all have stories for days of how our lives are different, how our lives are difficult, how things are tough, blah, blah, blah. We all have those stories. But the reality of the matter is no matter what the stories are, your life is still going to have to produce some type of result for you to be able to find contentment. Sorry, Della Coins 310. I'm not bringing anyone on the live today. Sorry. Thank you so much. But here's the thing. Poverty being a curse does not have to stay a curse. It is. It's a state of the mind. Poverty is a state of the mind. It's not a construct of what you have or do not have. Some people have a lot of money, but they still have a poverty mindset. It's a curse. So that's how I know that it's not commensurate to how much money or wealth you have. But that curse can be broken and one can redeem you can redeem your time. I can redeem my time. God is a redeemer of time. He redeems our time for us. So if you have been wasting time, sitting on the sidelines, barely getting by, not having any motivation, not having any inspiration to do any good for yourself or other people, now is the time to break free of that. Register for the DYG Challenge July 1st through the 3rd. It's a very, very amazing situation that the DYG Challenge is coming up at this time. Because I know that now there are people out there that are seeking for a lot of solutions, answers. The Gen Z generation, I just have a heart for those kids. Our Gen Z generation, they need guidance and mentorship. They need us to steward them properly. So our girls do not come on social media thinking all they have to offer is their physical assets. The Gen Z generation need mentorship and guidance so that they know that their gifts and their ability and the high energy that God has given them and their ability to speak up can be channeled in a way to create solutions that are feasible to making the world a better place, that people actually want to pay for. That they don't have to go through the microwave system where they want things now, that they can learn how to cultivate their gifts, build it up, grow it over time, build businesses, create job opportunities for themselves, do things that are actually valuable to themselves and the people around them. So this DYG challenge will help a lot of Gen Z leaders. And I say that specifically because I know that not everyone is a leader. A lot of people have the followership mindset. But if you are a leader out there and you know that you're called to lead your generation, you're called to stand out and to be the best version of yourself by using your gifts as a blessing, this DYG challenge is for you. There are a lot of moms at home who stay home with their kids and they're raising kids and they're taking care of families, but they know in their heart that they have so much more to offer. But time is going by, One thing I told myself when I was raising my kids is the fact that my children or my husband or any type of relationship in my life is never going to be a reason why I do not pursue my ambition. I've always been an ambitious person, but the grace of God has allowed me to discover my gift. So now my ambition is guided and I'm building with intention. That's what the DYG challenge will help you do. Be guided, become very self-aware, and then you can begin to build your life with intention. So when you pursue a job opportunity, you're pursuing a job opportunity that caters to the growth and development of your God-given gifts. And you can invest in areas and tools and coaching and mentoring that allows you to build and develop those gifts. You know, for someone who is on a job right now, clocking in and clocking out, please, I do not undermine your hustle. Yes, it takes a lot to get up every day and go to a job and be valuable at that job. But the reality of the matter is, if you are in that situation and you know that that thing you're doing is just for survival and you've been doing it for a long time and time is going and the days are coming, by every 24 hours you get deposited is another 24 hours that you have spent doing what it is that you're really not created to do, then this DYG challenge is for you. Poverty is a curse. It keeps us bound and limited in our thinking, in our decision making, in the choices that we allow ourselves to have. And it is a time waster, because the more you are bound and you are afraid, and even if you have a lot of money, you're so scared that you're going to lose it all, that you don't even use that money for good. You don't even express it in the lives of others that will say, thank you for being a blessing. And all you want is, I want more. Give me more. My name is Jimmy. Come on now. Then you are still under the curse of poverty. You have a lot of money, you live in a big house, you drive a big car that helps you massage your ego, but you are still under the curse of poverty because you're not living free and you're not in an abundant state of mind, knowing that there is enough. And enough can be enough, and you can be content. And you can pursue purpose and impact. Some people will tell you, oh, why do I have to care about other people? Please, as long as I'm taken care of, please, every other person can go sort themselves out. But you know, the reality of the matter is, God did not put us in this world with our gifts for us to just look out for ourselves. He didn't do that. That would be very, very interesting if that was the case. He didn't do that. When Jesus was leaving the earth, he told Peter, he said, feed my sheep. He kept saying it, feed my sheep. Feed my sheep. He says, what you do unto one of these, you've done for me. If you see someone out there who is naked, you clothe them, or they're hungry, you feed them. You've done it for me. You know, I was learning from a friend of mine and understanding that, you know, when it comes to tithing, even a portion of our tithe doesn't have to go to the church. It can go towards helping the people that need the help. That could be a way for you to pay your tithe to God, because anything you are doing to others in the name of God, you're doing for Him. So the tithe that you talk about, you know, we have a lot of discourse around tithing, why we should tithe, I should not tithe, should I tithe? You should definitely tithe. You know, it's just taking a portion of everything that you have been given, and you're giving it away to help God's people. So whether that looks like putting it in the hands of a church to give it, or that looks like putting it into a homeless shelter to make sure that some homeless people have the resources that they need, or making an orphanage more blessed because of you, or taking some people under your wings and putting the portion of your income to building them up, to sustaining them, maybe helping some widows take care of, whatever floats your boat to serve humanity. Because as you do it for some other person, the Bible says, Jesus says, you're doing it for me. That whatever you do to this person, if I invest 1/10 of my time to say, I'm going to give a portion of my time, which I already do, to mentor some kids, to invest in them, to take some of these abilities that I have and pour it into them, that's a tithe. That's me tithing my gifts to ensure that a portion of this is put into the lives of other people. And that is part of the commandment that talks about replenishing the earth. I'm replenishing other people. I'm replenishing the supply in the house of God. I'm replenishing the lack in the lives of others. I'm replenishing a need that people have. And that is why I'm doing the free 3-day DYG challenge. So I can replenish so many people like myself. I called you guys out, my people, my Gen Z leaders. You are not a generation of followers. You are created to lead. Every one of us is created to lead. So if you're a Gen Z and you're trying to maneuver and figure out your way in life, rather than engage in the wrong things, come to the DYG challenge for free for 3 days. Discover what your gifts are and start championing your pathway. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you, Dr. Shola, for letting me know. This is really, really, really interesting. So they said there was no audio. Oh my goodness. This is so interesting. This is very interesting. Thank you so much, sir. Good thing I have this on what's it called, on another platform. I'll probably have to upload the video later. Oh my goodness, this is so funny. I didn't even know that there was no audio. Oh my goodness. Anyway, the devil is a liar. I knew, I was like, and you know, it's so funny because I know that the topic that I was talking about today is very important for people to understand this, but it's okay. You know, the summary of everything is because I have to end my live now because I have a meeting and I have to get back to work. But the summary of today's discuss was talking about the fact that poverty, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Excited, looking forward to having you in Dallas. Poverty is a mindset. It's a curse that attacks the mind. It's not a state of how much money you have or don't have. It's a curse that can affect the wealthy person, and it's a curse that can affect the person who has nothing. The person who has nothing and doesn't have hope and doesn't believe in themselves and is not able to rise above the situations around them to see beyond their reality, to do something to get themselves out of it. Poverty is at work. It's a curse. And it will waste your time and keep people at jobs that are limiting to who they're really supposed to be, rather than them discovering what their God-given gifts and abilities so they can pursue careers and pathways that allows them to be really successful in life. And a wealthy person who has a poverty mindset will always want to acquire more. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong in having more, because in order to do the work that we do, some people like us who do a lot of philanthropy, in order to do it, we need to have so much. But the ability to have that so much is with intention. I want to have more so that I can do more. When you're like, I want to have more so that I can feel like, whenever I look at my bank account, like I told the story of one of my aunties. She had so much money, but this woman will not buy herself nice things. She would not live well. And you would never know that this bank account that you're looking at and all those zeros belongs to this person you're looking at. And of course, she's not going to give. So if she's not spending on herself, you think she's going to spend on you? You think she's going to help you out as a family member? No, she's not. She's that person. So she's wealthy. She's acquired a lot. She's done a lot for herself, but maybe out of fear. You know, like when some wealthy people are so afraid to lose it all that they won't even want to extend themselves to other people. So the poverty mindset that they had when they had nothing, now that they have everything, is still with them. So they are very limited in the impacts that their money makes. They are very limited in the impact that their wealth makes. It's always, give me, my name is Jimmy, more. What is the more for? What is the more for? Because I believe this, that when God really allocates resources, that is why the world has 1%. And there's the 1% of the 1%. And then there's the 10%. Those are the millionaires. And now we have the remaining 90% scraping for the rest of the resources in the world. And I don't think God is unrighteous to make people suffer. He doesn't want anyone in that state. But our mindset, we can't see beyond our whatever it is. So the reality of the matter is poverty is a curse that invades the mind of a person. So it's not a state of what you have or a state of what you don't have. It's the state of your being, your person, who you are, how you're thinking, how you see life. So guys, I'm going to round up the live. I'm so sorry, Instagram, that my voice and my volume was not available all today. And nobody told me that. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to try to upload the full video. And I really look forward to having you. Thank you so much, Dr. Shola. God bless Dr. Shola for me. If not that he came on here and said, no voice, I would have to be talking to myself and feel like I've really delivered God's message today. But guys, let's stop wasting our time. Let's start living with intention, because the only guarantee that we have is this moment that we're living in. So every morning you wake up, you have 24 hours. You're good. That means you have the same allocation of time Elon Musk has. You have the same allocation of time Dr. O has. You have the same allocation of time Dr. Shola has. You have the same allocation of time everybody else has. But what are you doing with your allocation of time? Don't let poverty mindset, don't let it limit you, stop you from investing in yourself, stop you from pursuing your goals, stop you from becoming self-aware, discovering what your gift is, so that you can begin to pursue life with intention, so that you can begin to do the things that God put you on here to do. If you were created to be a pastor and you spent all your life as an accountant and you did not pastor the sheep that God was waiting for you to pastor, you have kind of lived a half life. Or you've lived your own version of your life, not the version of the gift giver's life that he put you here to live. So it's so important for us to identify our gifts so that way we can begin to flourish in it. Sorry, guys, the voice was gone for most of this live, and I'm so sorry. I was not aware. Nobody brought it to my attention. I had to use another device today because my other device was acting funny. So I guess that's why we had this whole thing. But today's live was really good. I want to advise you guys, please go over to my YouTube channel and watch the full episode. And let's really get into the mindset of understanding what our gifts are. So once again, before I leave you today, if you're a Gen Z leader, Gen Z generation, I know that I have a heart for you guys, because Gen Z generation, there's so much potential to take this world to the very next level. Beyond what we already are experiencing right now, Gen Zs are going to do great exploits. But we need to ensure that our Gen Z leaders are well guided and they're well equipped and they have the tools that they need to really lead from the front. So please, if you're a Gen Z leader, discover your gifts, challenges for you. If you're a stay-home mom who's taking care of kids, who really knows that there is more, which you don't have to know, but I'm telling you, there is more to you than being a mom and a wife. If you're not a wife, well, being a mom, there is more to you than that. Discover your gifts and start operating in it. If you're just an individual who is in the marketplace, just taking whatever is handed to you. Oh, there's an opening there. Let me apply. Let me get some money. Oh, there's a job opening there. There's an opportunity there. Let me apply. Let me get some money. But you can discover what your gifts are. So even if you're going to operate in the marketplace, seeking opportunities, you can actually develop a skill that you are uniquely created to have and solve problems that you are uniquely crafted to provide solutions for. Then there is more ease in your execution. And life takes a rhythm. You know, the purpose is there, the impact is there, the return on investment is there. Purpose, impact, return on investment. That's what discovering your gifts does for you. It allows you to find your rhythm in life. It allows you to create your niche in life. It allows you to carve out your space and have dominion in life. So now you begin to find a rhythm. You know, if nothing else is working, I know that if I have my voice and I'm able to speak life, guess what? I'm living within my purpose. If there's someone, 2 people, 10 people that I'm able to educate and teach, oh my goodness, I'm living within my purpose. If I'm able to create using my voice, speaking life, creating content with my voice, I know that there is a rhythm to it. And eventually I know that I'm getting a bit closer to my destination, a bit closer to my destination. Destiny, destination, destiny, destination. But as I'm going closer to destiny, going closer to my destination, I want to ensure that on the journey, I am creating massive impact, but I'm also getting a huge return on investment. All right, y'all, that's all I have for you today on today's Live with Dr. OJ. Poverty is a curse, but it's broken over our lives in Jesus' name. But by faith, we move forward and we do the work. The poverty is broken, but we do the work. Invest in your mindset. Personal development will crack that mentality of poverty. Personal development would allow you to start looking outside of yourself and considering others and doing more beyond what 9-to-5 job payments, money making gets us, you know? All right, as always, you guys know I love you so very much. It's been a really good time with you today. And I'll be back again tomorrow, right? So tomorrow we're going to get voice. Oh, Lord, I feel so bad, guys. I was on live and there was no voice for almost 40 minutes of talking. That must have been like, what is she doing? People come on and they leave, and I'm like, what are they leaving? What's going on? Is today just a busy day for most people? That's really what I felt. I just felt like maybe people were sort of busy, so they were kind of leaving and going. But I didn't realize it was because they couldn't hear me. The devil tried to silence my voice, but he will never silence the message because it's available on my YouTube page. Hey, YouTube, thank you, YouTube, thank you, YouTube, thank you, YouTube. So y'all go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. OJ Speaks TV, and you can watch today's live on there because it's going to be a lot of work for me to download and reload and upload. But go to my YouTube channel. I'm going to drop the link under this video for you to go to YouTube to watch the full video. The voice on YouTube is clear as day, crystal clear, and you're going to get it all. You're going to love it too. See you on the DYG challenge. Drop the word gift in my DM and I will rush you the link to register. It's a free 3-day challenge, guys. So you want to register for this 3-day free challenge, right? So that you can get started. All right, as always, I love you guys. Bye.